So this is a short tutorial on color mixing, starting simply with the primary colors and secondary colors. So a basic palette could be simply these 6 colors, which is 2 each of each primary, 2 blue, 2 yellow, and 2 red. The reason I have 2 is that there is a warm and a cool of each color. And I'll show you by doing a small color wheel exactly why that's important. So I'm going to start with my warm red is cadmium red. I'm going to put it right here. My cool red, the one I prefer, is magenta. You could otherwise use alizarin. Next, my warm blue, I use French ultramarine. My cool blue is cerulean. And then I've got a cool yellow, cadmium yellow light, and a warm yellow, cadmium yellow. So just with those 6 colors, I'm going to show you how we can mix to get a variety. So I've got here my cadmium yellow light and my cerulean to make green. And this can either be more like a yellowy green or a more bluish green, depending on how much of each you use. Then I'll go to orange. So I've got cadmium red and cadmium yellow. That will give me an orange that again can be either redder or yellower, depending on how much of each you would use there. And then for purple, my third secondary color, I'm going to go with the magenta and ultramarine blue. And this purple can also be more towards mauve or towards lavender, again based on the proportions that you will use. So then you can join these together as one kind of circle. Like this. I'm just going to pull each of the primaries into a kind of middle color. So from these 6 colors, 3 primaries, you can get a wide range. What I want to really talk about is how to choose the right one to not get muddy colors. For example, if I want to get green, I need to use a cool yellow that's greenish and a cool blue that's greenish to get this clean, bright green. If I choose instead a warm blue, like ultramarine, and a warm yellow, like cadmium yellow, even if I keep on mixing these and trying to get green, you can see that I'm getting a muddy color because each of these is too far away from green to give me a clean green. That will work if I'm looking for an olive green or a duller color. And the reason for that is that ultramarine blue is a reddish blue and cadmium yellow is a reddish yellow. And red is directly opposite green on the color wheel, meaning that that is the complementary color. And if I add a touch of a complementary color to any color, it simply dulls its intensity. So if I have even a tiny bit of red here and I bring it into this green, you can see it's just knocking down the intensity of the green, and it works the same blue against orange, yellow against purple, and so on. To show you another example of how to choose the right one, if I'm looking for purple for my lavender field, this worked very well to use magenta and ultramarine blue, cool red with a warm blue. So if I had chosen instead, say, cerulean blue and cadmium red, I can be mixing these, trying to get purple, but it's dull, again, because this red and this blue are too far away on the color wheel from purple. I also want to show you how adding white changes things. It doesn't necessarily brighten things, it can simply make it chalky. So if I wanted a brighter red, for example, and if I add white, it's actually going to go kind of chalky pink. I'm better, if I want a brighter red, to go down the color wheel and add a brighter yellow to that and brighten it that way. See the difference? The same way green, to brighten it, I need to add a little bit of yellow to it. If instead I add white, it's going to go into a much duller, chalkier green. So this is simply the starter demo on color mixing. I will do separate ones for mixing greys and mixing browns and other mixes like that. But this is, you could get by simply with these 6 colors if you understand well how to use them to best advantage.